Here we go. Party Monday. What is up? Okay, I'm going to try something new tonight, I think. Something that I've not done before. Always a good time to start something new on a piece that, I've got to mix up some of my airbrush thinner. Frog Jim, welcome. Both of those are tapped out, that's good. Right. Yes. Well, I made some really good progress over the weekend. I've got 5 models in pretty good condition right now. This is the last figure that we need to paint. So, yeah, we are absolutely making progress, and we will be able to really assess the overall piece after this one. After this figure, I made a few changes this afternoon on the diorama base itself, which I think's made. Hello Match Fixer. Made some positive change. G'day Wampa. Early morning as usual for you, mate. I'm not really going to explain what I'm doing here because I just don't have much of a clue if it's going to work. So let me just see how things go. And if I manage to pull it off, I'll explain what's happening. No, still haven't seen June, mate. Haven't been to the cinemas in a while, actually. I think the last film I saw at the cinemas, fuck, what was it? It was a while back. But I might go and see the Eternals this week. Ah, mad. Yeah, we can't get that here, believe it or not. Nolan, welcome. Beautiful Party Monday indeed. Alright. Where my orange at? Orange. There you are. So I do have some pictures to show off. Where's my little? There it is. There's some pictures to show off soon. Well, not pictures. I'll show you the progress we've made. That's liable to explode soon. All right, let's see if this is going to work. In a sense, I guess it is, yes. I think we've still got the picture up. Here it is. G'day, Marmon. Thank you. Yes, I'll show you some pictures. I'll show you some. So I'll grab the models down in a minute. I just got to get through this airbrushing first, and then we'll. Well, we've gone for a Nurgle theme. If you're familiar with the Warhammer universe, so we're going for a lot of greens and very warm, sickly palettes. That's about as far as I've got, really. I don't think I need to really theme too hard on this. The models sort of really look after themselves with the theme. And we're going to definitely do something I don't think I've done on stream before. Maybe. Miss Jaina, 10 months, wow. Fuck, we're coming up on a year, aren't we? Wild. Alright, about enough of that for the moment. It's going very well indeed. It's a beautiful Monday. We're all here dressed up in our finest, ready to have a party, painting some toy soldiers, as we so often do on a Monday. Alright, cool. I'll let that dry for a bit. Let me show you some of the figures. So we've made some progress. So the first model I'll show you will be this guy. So this is the dude who stands up on top. I may need to drop the exposure just a touch. There we go. So this guy, he's the scout who sort of stands at the top. Zoom in a bit on him. So yeah, I'm not finished any element just yet, but we're certainly making some progress. I'm happy with this is the angle that he's standing at in the diorama. So I initially put probably a bit more focus on this angle. So I've realigned, so I've now got a much more light appropriate perspective from this angle. So a few things to do, but he's going all right. Here's the little elf that I painted on the stream yesterday morning. Done a few little bits more to him since the stream, but he's mostly waiting for gems, and then we'll paint some symbols. I've got to fix his hair, and I was sort of trying to go for a hollow cheeked feeling. but it stands out a bit much for me now, so I'm probably just going to tweak this down a little bit. He's not finished, as I said, no one's finished yet. Here's the dude holding him. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably most pleased with a few aspects of the colours of him, what's happening and so forth. But I do need to tweak the skin. Need it to be a little greener, a little bit more sickly. I'm not happy with the helmet's colour. We're going to change that. And the metal obviously needs further tweaking and refining. Here's the giant wolf rider chap. So big. Can't really fit him on screen. Need to do some more work on him. Especially the rider needs a bit of tweaking, and then I need to add a little bit more value in these areas. But again, thanks Draxy, champion. And then this chap who's the wizard is probably the most progressed of any of them. Thanks Broadside. So yeah, we got some good progress made so far. Oh, hype train. Yeah, good progress. Still, rumble. Still a fair bit of work to go. And I will show off the base later on. The base is the thing I'm probably most pleased with the changes I've made. So I'll show that off later on. A bit less, there we go. Yeah. So good activity. Definitely going to see it finished in the next week or so, I think. Yeah, that's the plan. But we're going to try and do some fancy shit potentially. Maybe. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I will try. Arnulan, these models are from the recent Kickstarter from Hera Models. It was called Wastelands. I was one of the early bird pledges, so I received mine a couple of months after the Kickstarter ended. I don't believe they've finished shipping everyone's rewards or anything like that yet, so they will release the figures, but it's not going to be till next year, I don't think. Yeah, no disputes from me. I think they're awesome. Arnul and I'm a backer of that particular Kickstarter, an all-in backer, including the models. That's that. Is it Infinity figure? Sorry, Crisis Protocol figure. Is that Moon guy? Moon Knight, is it? Can't remember his name. Yeah. It's good, mate. I'll and I'll slate for you actually, so let me do it now. I don't know enough about the character. I believe the character's white, and so that's actually the right feeling for white for the atmosphere that he's in. I think you probably need to create some separation between the cloak a little bit more, whether that's do it a slightly different white tones or something else, because I'm getting a little bit sort of lost. But if I remember rightly, the dude's all white. He's dressed all in the same colours, so that may be hard to do. I think you could up the intensity around the hood, particularly this little bit here. That should be a highlight as well. Like, it shouldn't be a shadow there. It should have light on that little curved bit upwards. So I think really just emphasising that area a little bit more, and then maybe make his eyes glow. I think he's got red eyes, doesn't he? Or he's got intense coloured eyes, so maybe pump his eyes a bit. Light blue. Okay. Yeah, you just need to dive into that a bit more. Like, there's staying true to the. Also, don't know what Fremen are, mate. You're obsessed with Dune at the moment, son. Take a step. The only reason I know what Fremen is because I was watching a how to play Dune Imperium video, and they were one of the people. I think you could play or something. Nah, never seen any of them. Never read the book, nothing. When we were talking about it last stream, I'm absolute Philistine when it comes to Dune. Hype train, well done all. Well done all and sundry to the hype train. Okay. So we're gonna try and do a flashy technique soon. Just need to establish this rust a little bit better. Choo choo. So there's my orange. Choo choo. So I'm not being... Wampa, what can I sing for you, champion? Sweet dreams made of this. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination, something else, if you truly wish to be. I don't really know enough of it. That's about all I can do. So have a redraw, mate. I don't think that counts. Okay, so what we're doing now, I'll try and explain. This is an interesting gamble. This is my favourite figure, so this could be terrible. So we're creating a rusty base, and what we're going to do now, once that dries. I shall return in a very brief moment. We're going to use a technique called salt weathering. So, I'm not sure if this is granular enough. This one. Oh yeah, pretty good. Yeah, that should be okay. Good. So we're going to use water to adhere the salt to the figure. No, we're just going to use water. I forget how I did it last time. Did I sprinkle the salt on? I don't think so. I think I actually attached it using this. Maybe I did sprinkle it. Alright. So what we're trying to achieve here is something that adheres to the surface that doesn't create a residue. Salt's possibly not the best for that because I have had it create residues before. But we'll give it a try. Salt works for this purpose because it doesn't melt in the water. Melt. Don't know. Doesn't disappear in the water. Dissipate. Whatever the fucking word is. Too much anyway. It will eventually. So you can't just be like splash and hit dissolve, thank you. You can't just keep splashing heaps of fucking salt all over the shop. It will eventually dissolve. You may be asking, why the fuck are you doing this, Deno? That's a great question. It does have a really interesting effect. Really interesting effect. But it can actually backfire, so this could be a terrible decision for this particular piece, which I love so much. But in the words of Theodore Roosevelt, I would rather be one of those men who dares greatly, and if we fail, will not stand idly by and be one of those people who never knows the glorious victory of defeat and whatever the rest of that fucking quote is. It's a banger. Oh yeah, there's 1,000 of them. Every time you think you know everything mini painting has to offer, think again, sir. Think again. Nachos. Oh yeah, chipping medium's fine. I feel like the reason I do it this way is because this is the way I've done it and had success in the past, and I haven't felt the need to experiment much further because this has worked for me. But yeah, there's other ways you can do it, absolutely, that achieve possibly a better result. Okay, that should be enough, I think. So what we're going to do now is we're going to very gently dry the salt. This technique doesn't work unless the salt's dry. As you can see, the salt looks remarkably different now, but there's a few areas I missed that I want to put some on. So here. A little bit along this edge. So I don't recommend you try this tomorrow, unless you have a fair whack of confidence in your abilities, because it can fuck up. I'm okay if it fucks up because I can fix it, but I don't want to be held responsible for your figures fucking up. You can be like, damn, you fucked my fucking model, man, with your stupid salt bullshit. Like, well, it's your own fault, not mine, sir. Alright, just put that up here for the moment. Just put my salt aside. I might just little sample of salt. Delicious. I wish it was Himalayan pink rock salt, but you know, that'll do. I'll just mute my microphone while I vacuum up my salt. Sorry. Alright, we're back, and we're back. Delicious salt. That's just a little bit louder than the hairdryer. Just going to give it another quick... This does not work if the salt is not dry. Alright, here we go. That'll do. So now I'm going to do some airbrushing. I'm going to drop the pressure on this a fair bit, because you need it to be low pressure so that you don't spray too much of the salt off. Because of that, we're going to try and use paints that work fine when they're thin. Buenos dias, Gin Tonico 84. Muchas gracias for joining my stream, sir. All right. You will get some of your poorly adhered salt disappearing. That's okay. Because the first layer of paint will usually adhere it pretty well, and after that you're okay. Always try and spray front onto the salt. Spraying sideways with the air will usually cause your salt to come off. Okay. Good. Now we need a bright, intense green. I think we'll go that one. Yeah, maybe we'll do a little bit of white first, actually. Primer. Up the pressure a touch. Don't give away the ghost, you salt. You've ruined the fucking surprise. Alright, so we're going to do a bit of bright green. Up the pressure a tiny smidge more again. Everyone waiting with bated breath to see what the reveal is going to look like. Me too. All right. Final layer, we're going to do a really intense green. So that's going to be using this green again. This yellow, and then we'll just we'll just do a couple of little glazes to help solidify the colour. Now, yeah. Always got a time for Party Monday, pal. It's the only way we fly. Alright. A little touch more. So what we're going to do now is just add some shadows back with that original green and some contrast paint. Correct. Correctamundo. That's the plan. There'll be some clean-up work required probably, but as I said, we can work around that. Yeah, look, I think the difference with the salt and the chipping medium is it's just quicker, I think. As I said, never tried the chipping medium. I did it once like this and I was like, yeah, that worked a treat. I'm a fan. Some shade of red, great question, mate. There's a lot of manufacturers out there that deal in models of this scale, 75mm, 54mm, those sorts of larger scales. Some of my favourite ones are Chimera models, Black Crow models, Black Sun, Mindworks Games, Hera models. They're some of my favourite ones. So yeah, if you check out any of those miniature manufacturers' websites, to sort of see how gloriously big the world of this sort of stuff is. Okay. Moment of truth. Yeah, that's true. Physical shops, they're actually pretty hard to come by. It depends where you are. I don't really have too much knowledge of the States or Europe, but if you're in Australia, mate, I'll give you some absolutely banger tips. There'll be some hobby shops that carry this sort of stuff, but not all of them. Monkey Carnage. All right. Again, very important that it's dry. Very important that it's dry. We're going to use a dry brush too. A wet brush can make the salt stick. So let's start down here and see how we're looking. Not bad. A little bit of salt residue. Monkey Carnage, this is a model from a pretty big diorama I'm working on. I'll show you some pictures of the diorama after I finish this step. Bit too much paint, bit too much water. So I think you can see at this stage what the final effect should look like. There's a few tips they'll give you if you do decide to give this a try for yourself. Once I've finished peeling all this gear away. So the first tip that I'll give for this technique is the more irregular the orange layer is, the better the final result will be. Well, got a little bit too much force going there, don't I? Alright, cool. Let that dry for a smidge and I'll again vacuum this up. Indeed, Marmon, indeed. Alright, boom shakalaka. So what I'm just going to do now is just make sure I've got all the salt. Smash Springs, thanks for the follow, champion. A little bit in there.